podcast, the second episode. My name is Kevin.
I'm Robert.
And this is Kyle.
I noticed last week when editing the first episode of the podcast that there were some volume and sound issues with noises and traffic in the background and setting water bottles down on the table. We're aware of it. We're working through it. The traffic, there's not going to be much of a way for us to get around, but as far as setting stuff down on the table goes, we're working on that. It's a work in progress. It's the first time we've done anything like this really before. So just bear with us, and thank you for listening. I also wanted to give a special shout-out and thank you for all of your love and support to Mariah, Erica, and Ashley. Without you guys, we would not be doing this. Your support means everything to us.
Thank you, ladies.
Nice. All right, so what have you been doing over the last week or so, Kyle?
I guess to kick off things, I played a bit more Assassin's Creed.
Nice. How far are you now?
I just got to Alexandria. So I just got past the prologue. I didn't really have a lot of time this weekend to play.
Gotcha. So you're through with most of the Siwa stuff?
Yeah, I pretty much explored everything I could that was available to me at the time.
Gotcha. I thought of a terrible joke when you said you went to Siwa last time.
Oh, Siwa?
I wanted to make a bad joke, but I refrained from it. But I was going to say, so you started the game to see what's up?
Hey-o.
Yeah. Now I'm glad I said something about it. Moving on.
I saw lots in Siwa. I'm finally getting used to the game. I had issues with the combat, but I didn't realize this when first playing, was that as you level up, your damage and health increases too.
Yeah. It's not solely based on the
equipment. With the old Assassin's Creed games, you had the weapons determining your attack and whatnot, and I thought that's how the game worked this time around. But it's more based around the leveling system. So now I'm like level 5 or 6 or something, and the game is feeling a lot better overall.
Nice.
Like I pretty much just got a sample of everything that's available in the game.
When you started getting into that, did you opt in for the option to make it so the enemies level up with you? Because I thought about it.
Existed.
Yeah. The first thing I do whenever I play a game is I go into the options.
Yeah.
I mess around with everything that I can.
Yeah.
Oh man, the PC version is crazy. Like, the graphics settings are so detailed. Like there's an HDR mode. I'm trying that
on
out.
PC?
Yes.
For a Ubisoft game?
Yes.
I am surprised.
It looks pretty damn sexy, if I have to say.
I wonder if they started doing that because of the Scorpio and the PS4 Pro.
And all
Scorpio, what's the actual name for it?
The One X.
The one, okay.
Yeah.
The Xmonix.
Yeah, I'm sure that their previous titles, they're notorious for having terrible PC versions that aren't optimized very well. Like Unity was a mess.
Yes. I actually played most of the first one after playing it years before on the Xbox 360. I went back and played it on the PC, or tried to play it on the PC, and it does have somewhat of a controller support system, but not really. So I had to use Joy-to-Key, which was a mess to try to use. So I ended up playing that with mouse and keyboard, and it was horrible playing that kind of game with mouse and keyboard.
With mouse and keyboard for like a third-person camera view kind of game.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah. First-person shooter, give me mouse and keyboard, but for
a
third-person action game, I can't. A character action game, I need a controller.
But I'm really enjoying the story so far. Like, Bayek's really growing on me as a character. I really like his motivation for his son. He's responsible for his death, and he's trying to make up for that, which is a pretty good background story for the character.
Good old revenge story.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
The father-son dynamic in games seems to be a big one right now.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
No kidding.
We might talk about it during a special Father's Day episode of...
That's because all gamers have daddy issues.
Was there something you should have been talking to us about last week and didn't?
No.
Robert. Sorry, Kyle, what you done?
Oh, other than that, just, Mother's Day, I just went out and got my mom flowers and all that. Spent the day with her.
Nice.
In between those little bits of fun, I was playing a little more Hearthstone. Still on my quest to get to Legend rank for the first time, which is really hard for me to do personally. I've always hit like rank 2 or rank 1, but never quite got there. So right now I'm sitting at about rank 3, getting there this month, but we'll see where it goes. That's about it for my weekend.
When talking about Mother's Day, and this episode's not going to be up to listen to for about a week and a half after Mother's Day. The first few episodes of this are being recorded about a week and a half prior to uploading them, so I have time to mess around with editing and figuring out how to upload everything. Behind the scenes stuff that nobody cares about but me, but we'll be referencing out-of-date stuff probably for a couple of weeks until we get our groove. So bear with us on that as well. What about you, Robert?
Let's see. I went back into Firewatch.
Oh, nice.
I'm playing it on my Xbox One, and I tried to get the last 4 achievements. It's such a small game, and there's only 10 achievements, so it's kind of easy to do. But the first playthrough, I only got 6, and so just went back in really quick, got the other 4 just to say it was completed. And then I actually picked up Assassin's Creed again. I beat the game a while ago, but I got the DLC, both packs now.
Nice.
I played the Hidden Ones. Got that a while ago. Finished that yesterday. That was a nice little short adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started The Curse of the Pharaohs, and I am loving that one a lot. It's a
Nice.
lot bigger area, and the whole... Like, I'm a big fan of old mummy movies and all that kind of stuff, so... Like, having to battle, like, resurrected pharaohs and stuff is really cool. So I'm excited to keep playing that.
From a Stargate fan, I've got to ask a question.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to bring up Stargate every week. That's just going to be my thing.
Seems that way.
Do their eyes glow?
Oh. They probably did.
Yes.
I'm sure they did.
Nice.
Actually, I think on the cover art, I think like the main pharaoh in the cover art has glowing eyes.
Yeah, the main menu of the game, I've noticed there's like a pharaoh
Yeah,
with
yeah,
glowing
that too.
eyes.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, you got to play it.
To bring up another point I love about the game so far is the tombs are back. Like, in the original Assassin's Creed and the first couple other games, they were like tombs dedicated to exploring.
Yeah.
Is there more of that in the DLC?
I didn't notice any in the hidden ones. Because I think those were mostly in the pyramids
Oh, okay.
in the main game.
Mm.
I think there might have been a couple other ones. I'm not sure. But I didn't notice any in the hidden ones. I'm sure the Curse of the Pharaohs is going to have something because it's all like the tombs and stuff like that. So, but I only played like 2 hours yesterday. So
The tombs that were even in the first, like in the main game of Origins, they weren't that long. They weren't difficult.
no,
They were
pretty
pretty
short.
short. I was kind of put back by that, I guess. Like when I get into a place to explore, I kind of wanted to explore, and it was just there wasn't enough hidden stuff there for me to find. I thought.
that makes sense.
I gotta say one more thing about it. Like when you first get to that portion of the map where you're riding to Alexandria, I saw the pyramids of Giza in the horizon. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to go there.
Yeah,
It looks
game,
awesome.
That's what that game does really well. Is the set pieces, especially when you're looking at them from a distance. It just gets you pumped for playing later on in the game.
It has a really good sense of scale.
Yes.
Oh man, like I actually use the photo mode to take photos, and I never do that ever.
I fiddled around with the photo mode in God of War this weekend for like 2 minutes, just because you can change the facial expressions on both Kratos and
I've heard about
Atreus.
that, yeah.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that.
It's something to see once, and then it loses its
Well, yeah,
its luster.
nothing
but
to really keep you
it's cool. It's neat.
occupied. But
Yeah.
anything else this weekend that you?
No, that was
around
about
to?
it. If we're talking about Mother's Day, my mom lives a few hours away from here, so I don't get to see her, but I called her. Said
Good.
Happy Mother's Day, and
I called you
of course,
too.
did you? She was appreciative.
Yeah, I know.
And then of course, my wife. She's a mother. And
Your mom's not gonna listen to this, is she?
I don't know. Probably not.
My mom's my biggest fan,
But,
so she might.
But yeah, so obviously gave my wife a card and stuff like that, and that's about it.
Nice.
Quiet weekend.
Nice. I played a lot of God of War. I'm almost through the story of the game. I have quite a lot of stuff to do around the rest of the game to do. I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about God of War because I want to talk about it, and I know Kyle's 100%ed it.
One question first.
Yes.
Do you have the Infinity Gauntlet yet?
The Infinity Gauntlet
You haven't heard
God
about
of
that?
War?
Yeah.
Yes, it's
You
a
ever
thing.
heard about it?
I've tried it. It's awesome. Yep, it's cool.
I was worried about spoiling Robert on stuff, and this was just spoiled for me.
Shame on you, Robert.
Well, it's not part of like the story or anything, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
No,
Okay.
it's just a little extra thing that
Mhm.
an Easter egg they tossed in
Huh.
because they knew it was releasing right before the
Main page on IGN, buddy. So that's
Okay, fair point. I don't read IGN, I'm sorry. But yeah, I've been... the Trials of Muspelheim.
Mhm.
I hate them.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest.
I hate them with a fiery passion, and
Yeah.
no pun intended with the fire. But I stopped that, furthered the story, and then I was going to start doing all the collectibles throughout the rest of the game. I tried to go to Alfheim, but I accidentally and thankfully went to Niflheim.
Mm-hmm.
And Niflheim is a freaking blast. It's what I think it feels like a roguelite, which is my style of game, built into God of War, because you can keep doing it
was
over
like
and
a
over
standalone
again. Yeah.
game, pretty much.
And it just spawns new enemies each time. I mean, the area is still the same regardless, or more or less. The traps might be different. I haven't noticed.
Basically, the traps are different. The enemies are different.
Yeah.
And
And
the room placement's still the same.
and it made me remember how much I hate the Dark Elves in Alfheim.
Yeah. Pretty much whenever they showed up,
You
I would
just ran
run
back?
right back out.
Yeah.
I'd run right back in, and if I saw a Draugr, I was like, hell yeah, let's
Yeah,
go!
Let's do it.
Give me those mist echoes.
Yeah.
Easy mother...
The rest of the collectibles in the game, I don't think I'm going to go through and try to kill all the Odin Eye ravens. Odin's eyes.
Really? Those are pretty easy to find.
I've found maybe 17 of them so far.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't been looking around. Like, I don't look up enough.
You gotta listen for them, because they have a unique sound.
Yeah, I noticed that, but
Yeah.
it's been really hot lately, so I have a fan behind me.
Okay.
So I can't hear a lot of those those quieter sounds
Yeah.
in the game. And I did notice that too yesterday when I was like, I think I hear something. I couldn't tell if it was my dog making a weird sound, which would be the unhealthiest dog probably ever. Thankfully, it wasn't. It was just a raven, but
Oh, good.
yeah. I
It'd
don't
be bad
think.
if it was your dog, I think.
Yeah, especially if I had to throw an axe at her.
You know, because Odin would be watching you through your dog, and that'd be kind of weird.
You
I
don't
am
want that.
not gonna sleep well tonight now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I called my mom as well, and I called Robert's mom, as I said earlier,
Yeah.
and told him how much I loved them, and
Yeah.
that was Mother's Day.
That's a good son-in-law right there.
Anyway,
Moving on.
yeah, I didn't do much else. A lot of God of War.
Nothing else gaming related?
No, no, actually. I edited a podcast from last week. That's kind of related to gaming. You know, I think we've talked about games on the podcast
Might have something to
before.
do with games, yeah.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, that was it.
Nice. Very good.
I didn't mention this at the beginning of the episode. Today we're talking about our backlogs and suggestions for one another to play.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about any of this beforehand, so we don't know what the others are suggesting each other.
Right.
So we don't know if we've played the games we're going to be suggesting to one another, but we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff. And I want to know what Robert's come up with in his backlog. Games that you don't have to talk about games that you've bought. You can talk about games that you've been meaning to play that have been out for years or months or whatever.
Depending on how long we're going to go.
Got plenty of time, my man.
I would say, just to start, like, for you, I think PC's been elusive, so I would highly recommend
You
going
should
that route
spend
first.
$1,300 on a computer right now. Yeah, we built our PCs around the same time.
Yeah.
I've upgraded the RAM and the video card in my PC since 2011.
Yeah,
and I'm in need of a new one.
I upgraded the graphics card back in, I think it was 2016.
I think
Yeah.
I did mine in 2015.
Mm-hmm. I got a GTX 1070.
Yeah, I had a 9. No, I had a 1080. I got a 1070, 1080.
Mhm.
Something like that.
Anyway, didn't mean to shit all over your
Oh, you're good.
backlog discussion there, Robert.
That's actually a good reason why I love being a console gamer. It's because I buy one console and I'm good for the whole lifetime.
Yeah,
Unless
but how
I
long is
choose
the lifetime? The lifetime's about the same as how long it takes me to upgrade a computer.
Well, like 7 years.
Yeah. I upgraded my computer once in 7 years, which is the equivalent of...
But how
That
much
sounds
was
about
it all? Like when you upgraded it, is it more than like one console?
Building it, yes. Upgrading it, God, no. Upgrading it, I spent about $300.
Yeah, that's about what
And that's doubling the RAM and increasing the video card and having access to millions more games than I could ever ask for on a console. I don't want to. We don't need to have the PC versus console discussion today.
No,
That's
we
not
can save
today's
that for
topic.
another time.
Yeah.
I love my consoles too. I was a diehard Xbox 360 guy. I'm now a PS4 guy. I have a Switch. I have a PlayStation Vita that I haven't played in about a year and a half. And the only games I played on that were games that I already own on Steam and PS4. Anyway.
Anyway, well, I think all of my games are going to be Xbox games. So I don't have many on my PS4, but the first one is Gears of War Judgment. Actually, and Gears of War 4.
What is Judgment? I
That's
lost
It
the
was
one
the-
with what's his name? Baird?
I think it's Baird.
Yeah.
It was between 3 and 4, and
Was
it just
it-
focuses on Baird, and then I think and Cole. A couple
Yeah, it
new
was like a
people, I think.
prequel, I think.
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
See, this is how big of a backlog it is for me because I don't even
Gotcha.
remember. But I have it because I love the original Gears of War trilogy. And I haven't got to that one, and I haven't got to 4, which I was actually really excited to play, but it just kind of slipped through the cracks.
Mhm.
It came out a couple of years ago.
I'll just say that's on my backlog too. I haven't played 3 even, so I played Gears 1 too. They're fun games, but I just kind of lost interest.
Gears 1
Yeah.
was cool for me. I played half of Gears 2, and I'm like, I think I've seen everything I need to.
Pretty
I mean, they're
yeah.
not like grand storytelling, but
Yeah.
they had good set pieces, and I love me some Marcus Phoenix. This one, I know both of you guys are going to slap me for not playing yet. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
God.
Yeah,
That game is good.
Oh man, what are you doing?
I
Play
know.
that now.
Honestly, after playing Far Cry 5 and you're going to go back to inferior mechanics, it's going to feel... it'll dampen the experience,
It
I
will
think,
a
for
little
you.
bit, yeah.
And it's an incredible game that doesn't deserve that
God,
disrespect.
so-
See, I think. Well, I can't change that now, Kevin. I think I'll still love it because I love 80s themed things. Like,
Yeah.
I love movies that are set in the 80s. I love 80s music and all that. And it always looked like the perfect thing to me, like
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
nostalgia and
Did
stuff.
you ever
It's just-
watch Kung Fury?
God, no, it's been in my list forever, though.
Oh, it's so...
I've seen, like, YouTube clips of it, but I've never
it's
seen the
free
whole
on
thing.
YouTube to watch.
It's free on Netflix.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was on Steam and on YouTube before Netflix picked it up, and I'm very glad that Netflix picked it up because now it's getting a sequel.
Yes, I did hear that. I will watch it before that comes out.
That's
but-
good.
Yeah, that sort of thing is kind of right in my wheelhouse. And like I said, it's just one of those ones that slips through the cracks. Like
Yeah,
every
man,
time
that
I
is
want to
a-
play
And
it.
that's what the
Such a
backlog
fun
is.
game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's,
You need to play that though. Like it's short too, which is right up your
Yeah.
alley.
Well, if we want to talk about Far Cry,
Mhm.
I have not played any of them since Blood Dragon. I'm
I'm guilty of that too, actually.
Yeah. The thing that I liked about the Far Cry series so much is that they were all vastly different. Like 1 to 2 were completely different. 2 to 3 was far different. Sorry. And then Blood Dragon was just the perfect. It wasn't a tie-in. It was like a completely different game, just with the engine of Far Cry 3. And I'm like, I know Ubisoft. They're going to make Far Cry 4 just like Far Cry 3. Because they found the formula that they want to stick with, and that's why I haven't. Far Cry 5 still appeals to me, but I haven't
I do
played
want to play
4
Far
or
Cry 5.
Primal.
That looks fun.
I want to play Primal as well.
Oh gosh, yeah, Primal too.
Primal, I enjoyed a lot. Just because it was, I love the Far Cry formula.
Yeah.
You know, I like the way it feels and controls and all that. And placing that in, like, the Stone Age, where you have,
Yeah.
clubs and all that kind of stuff, there's something really cool about it. I really enjoyed that one. And 4, actually, I think I liked 4 more than 5.
Really?
Yeah. I liked...
Probably an unpopular opinion.
Probably. But having beat 5 now, I think the story, I definitely liked more in 4. And I don't know, the whole like Himalayas and stuff. I kind of like that area of the Earth, so it appealed to me, like climbing around there and stuff. But yeah,
You're making me want to go and buy it right now because I think it's on sale.
yeah, I think so.
I think it is on sale.
But so those. Another one I have that was one of the Xbox Live free games is Saints Row 4. And I've never played any of the Saints Row games. I played the first one, the demo, that came out.
The first one was not a great game.
I didn't like the demo at all. And just...
The first one felt like it was a GTA 3 or a San Andreas knockoff.
Exactly.
It really found its stride from 2, and then 3 is where they, once again, they found the formula. I mean, different developer, but they found the formula for it, and they stuck with that for 3 and 4. And kind of with, what was that? It wasn't a Saints Row game, but it was in the world of Saints Row.
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
I'm sorry. I never played any Saints Row games. I have no way of knowing. I've only experienced Saints Row through Kevin, so that was a lot of fun, though.
But yeah, so that one. Let's see. Destiny 2 is probably the most recent one I have. Because I got that, I think on Black Friday last year, because it was on sale, and I still haven't played it. I love the first Destiny a lot, and I'm not a multiplayer guy at all. I don't like playing online really
Right there with you.
people and stuff or competing, but the first Destiny I did get, and I played with my friend, and we co-opted
Your
a
one
lot.
friend.
My one friend. My one gamer friend. Shout out to Patrick. And it was so much fun. I love the first game. And so I've been meaning to pick up the second one, but lately, my interests have been open world and single player experiences. So
I'm probably going to be playing Destiny 2 soon-ish, next month. Next month's Humble monthly bundle for only $12 a month. Once again, we're not sponsored by anybody. The one game that they've announced it's going to be in it is Destiny 2 for the PC.
Nice.
I don't think it's going to come with any of the DLC or expansions or anything, but just the base game for $12. And I'm already a subscriber to it, so I'm not paying anything more than I'm already going to pay.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to at least try it. I did try the demo, beta, whatever it was on PC, and I had fun with... Like, the shooting mechanics in that game feel really good.
Yeah. Well, Bungie's been doing it long enough.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point.
Well, is that game crossplay?
I don't believe so.
No, I don't think so.
I know it's on PC, but I don't think it is.
That'd be a lot of fun. I would probably get on it.
Some of the only games that are crossplay are games like Rocket League, and I don't know if Fortnite's crossplay or not.
I know Final Fantasy 14 is.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that I've always wanted to try that out. That's probably on my games to play. But
Well, do you want to throw a couple out there, Kyle?
Oh,
I mean, we can go back to...
you got more to give, I'm sure.
We can go back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
More of an open forum.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Final Fantasy, I need to really catch up on some JRPGs. I know for me personally, one series I need to at least play through once is the Persona series.
I haven't played any of those games.
I haven't played a single one, but I hear from everybody this is like the greatest game ever made. Like,
especially since Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
And then Persona 5.
Mhm.
I've heard that from every...
Like all the reviews that have come out, word of mouth, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I see a lot of headlines about it.
Yeah. I know for me personally, that's one I've always wanted to try. Because for me, JRPGs died out a long time ago. That also brings me back to Final Fantasy. I need to play 15 still.
I tried playing that. I couldn't get into the combat.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen gameplay here and there, but it doesn't really look very engaging.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very automatic, which is why I didn't like Final Fantasy 13 very much.
So I think that's also the route that Kingdom Hearts is going.
Yes. I have played both Kingdom Hearts games. Those are fantastic. But they have so many spin-off games.
Well, I think they've remastered those spin-off games and put them in collections on the PS3 and PS4.
I do own them, but I haven't played them at all.
So they're also on your backlog?
Yes.
Nice, okay.
A lot of JRPGs, because I stopped playing the genre way back. Oh man, I think Final Fantasy 13 was like the last one I played because I was just like so burnt out on how useless the gameplay feels in them because it's turn-based.
Yeah.
And even when it's action-based, it just feels like you're not really inputting a lot of movements on the controller. It just feels like it's playing itself. And that, to me, was what kind of pulled me out of that genre.
I wonder if that's why I never got into JRPGs.
Yeah.
I never tried very many, but I remember Blue Dragon was a big thing on the 360.
I think that was the only one on the 360
At the
for
time.
quite a while.
That and Lost Odyssey, I think, were the big two at the time.
I
Yeah.
might have tried the demos for both of those. I know I have tried a Final Fantasy. I couldn't tell you what number. I'm sure it was on the 360. But I don't know. I've never...
Which ones were on the 360?
You mean in Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
There was
It's like the 13
trilogy.
series, yeah.
The 13 trilogy, that's it. Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah, I think that probably encapsulates why I've never got into them.
The 13
Yeah.
series were not that good.
No.
And I don't know if those are it.
I think the Final Fantasy VII remake is also going that real-time combat,
Yeah.
and I'm not looking forward to that.
Hopefully we'll see more at E3, but
So,
I highly doubt it.
full disclaimer, I never played Final Fantasy VII.
You wait till now to experience it at its best quality, so I would say...
I don't want to experience the remake.
Yeah.
I loved what I played of Final Fantasy VI. That's the one that I played the most.
Also on my backlog. I need to play the older one.
I never finished that one, but it's the only one that I actually really enjoyed. That I've tried playing almost every Final Fantasy, at least for an hour or two, and that was the only one that kept my interest.
Mhm.
And that's a fun game.
You got more backlog games you'd like to share?
Yeah, Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2.
Yep.
Or is that what it's called? Secondary Sin?
I think so.
I did play...
I've heard good things about those.
So the Divinity series is a really weird one, because it started off as an isometric CRPG, kind of like Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter Nights, with Divine Divinity. And I did try playing that, but with my attention span, I couldn't do it. So I started with Divinity 2, which is a third-person action RPG. Totally different from the isometric CRPG of the original. And then they had Beyond Divinity was a standalone sequel to Divine Divinity. I don't know. Divinity Original Sin, that got lost to me because it came out around the same time frame as Pillars of Eternity, which is also on my backlog. And now Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, Dreadfire?
Deadfire, I think.
Deadfire. Pillars of Eternity 2.
But I've heard there's a lot of mixed feelings about that one recently.
Really?
Because
At the time of release, it had a Metacritic score of 90 or something.
I think Chris Avallone, he left Obsidian, and he wasn't the head writer on the series anymore.
Okay.
So I think because of that, there's been kind of some backlash on that one.
Gotcha.
Because there's some
Deadfire.
controversy with how he was
Deadfire,
treated
okay,
as
thank
an
you.
employee.
Googling stuff live on the podcast.
That's the way
Gotta
to do
love it. At least you did it pretty silently. How many of the Fear games did you play, Kyle?
I played them all. I haven't played the expansion, though, for the first Sphere. Perseus Mandate and Extraction Point, I think.
How did you remember those? I'm only seeing them now because they're in my Steam
Because
backlog.
I've been meaning to play them for a really long time, because I actually love those games. They're really fun.
Would you recommend me going back and playing Fear 2 and Fear 3?
Fear 2, yes.
Oh, wait, no, I did play Fear 2.
You did.
I have played Fear 2. That was the one I didn't care for as much.
Fear 3 was terrible.
Maybe I played that one.
That was pretty bad. There was a couple of highlights, but it was not nearly as good as the original.
The original Fear was really good.
That game was fun. If you haven't played it, Robert, you should.
I never did play those
It's
games.
a scary game,
Mhm.
which I know you're kind of not too sure on, but
I probably wouldn't be playing it for very long.
Two more.
If my try with Dead Space is any indication, then probably not.
Two more games that I've been meaning to play for a very long time now. One of them for a very long time. The other one just came out recently. They're very similar games. Galactic Civilizations 3 and Endless Space 2.
Hmm.
They're similar but different enough that I want to play both of them. I loved Gal Civ 2. That game was so good. Hundreds of hours just dicking around in that game.
Well, what makes the series so good? If I may ask. What makes them so good? Like, what'd you love about it?
The fact that it's just you can play the game however you want. You can play the game and be a complete dick to the enemy AI and just conquer everything, or you can go the diplomatic route, you can go the technological route, and it felt like I love games that I can play over and over and over again, and it feels like a different experience every time. That's my jam. And that set in a sci-fi kind of, I don't want to call it open world, but it's an expanding galaxy that you conquer as you progress. You set the parameters of the galaxy, you set the parameters of the AI, you can challenge yourself, you can make it easy. You can make the game what you want it to be. It's kind of the same as like Age of Empires or Civilization, that style, just set in space, which I love the setting of space. I love sci-fi. Star Trek Next Generation being my favorite show of all time. So
there you go.
Those are games that I've been meaning to play for a very long time, and one of them for a very long time. Endless Space 2 just came out pretty recently.
You got any more, Robert?
I got a few more. Let's see. It's one that I've picked up 2 times now and played a few hours, but then a new game comes out, and so I start playing that because it's more immediate. But The Witcher 3.
I've started and stopped that game more times than I can count.
Yeah, and I want to play it so bad and finish it because
I can't count past 3.
The hours that I've played, absolutely love it. Because I love fantasy, I love RPGs, and I love the more kind of mature adult take on everything that world has. And yeah, I even bought all the DLC, I think, last time. Because they were all on sale. But
I was going to mention, that's also on my backlog. I finished the game 100%, but the DLC, I got to play that still. And I'm kind of dreading it because I know how big those expansions are.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, I really want to get to it, but there's so many new games coming out. I need to play now.
Yeah.
And I feel you on that.
It's hard with bigger games because there's always something that, this will only take a little bit. I'll play this for the first, then I'll come back to it. And then it's been so long that when I come back to it, I feel like I need to restart it.
Oh, man, it's hard to get back into a game like that. How far are you, may I ask?
The second playthrough, I didn't get that far until I started playing another game. The first playthrough, I think I got to Novigrad.
Oh, wow. So you haven't even been to Skellige?
No.
Oh, that's where it really gets. That's where it gets really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to. It's up there. It's probably towards the top of my list of games I need to play.
Did you ever play Witcher 2?
Again, is kind of the same situation where I played it for a few hours.
Yeah.
I bought, I think it was like the definitive edition or whatever when it was on 360. Enhanced edition.
Yeah.
With all the goodies.
Well, also with a good combat system, because the original combat system in Witcher 2 was apparently... I didn't play it.
See, I was never a huge fan of in the enhanced game either, and I think that's why I like 3 a lot better from my first impressions, because it seems like they overhauled it again.
Yeah.
And 2, for me, starting it was really confusing. It took a while to get into it, because I was used to Skyrim, just slash. But
I remember Witcher 2 opening up. It just throws you right in the game, and it was so weird to experience. I actually went back and played Witcher 1 first.
That game's hard to go back to and play.
Yeah,
I did try.
I mean, that was a long time ago when I played it, but it was great.
Yeah,
like the story was really good. The combat, it sucks, but I mean, there's like a rhythm to it. Like you just get a feel for it.
I did spend a lot more time, I think, in Witcher and Witcher 2 than I did in Witcher 3.
Yeah.
So far.
Witcher 3 just makes a lot of quality of life improvements to the combat system that just makes it more fun to enjoy.
I have not yet played Undertale.
Oh, man, you would love that game.
I know. And I can breeze through it in one sitting, too.
Oh, yeah, it's not that long.
Also, I have not played the Stanley Parable.
Yeah.
I want to play that, because I've avoided watching anything about either of those 2 games And
I'm surprised you haven't played Stanley Parable yet.
exactly. I'm surprised I haven't either. I just saw them on my Steam backlog, or my Steam list, and I was like, holy crap, I have not played these yet. What am I waiting for?
I would highly recommend
Undertale
first.
Yeah.
That game is...
it's just lighthearted.
That's a crazy ride, man.
Yeah, it's... just from what I know of the game, it's something that I need to experience, and I just have to shut everything else out and just dive in.
I mean, for me, when I first played it, it was hard for me to play. Because
Really?
I didn't really enjoy...
The aesthetic of it?
Pretty much,
Okay.
yeah. Like how the combat is meant to be passive rather than aggressive. I went through the game aggressive.
Okay.
So I got the worst ending first.
I got you, okay.
But you would enjoy it a lot more, I would think. The design choices in that game are amazing.
Multiple endings just made me think of what else I did this weekend. I did do one more thing.
Oh.
I played the Detroit Become Human
Demo.
Oh,
nice.
I was very disappointed.
Oh.
Not in the
Not so
game
much.
itself, but the only part of the playable demo is exactly what we've been seeing in like
Trailers
recently.
Yeah.
Like there was one long gameplay segment that I saw, and that's what you play in the demo. It's the part where you're going through the apartment and you're trying to find clues to why the AI is threatening to kill the kid, and trying to figure that out. It played pretty darn well. It played like a David Cage game that felt good, which I haven't played a David Cage game that felt good since...
Well, ever.
Yeah. The last one I enjoyed was Indigo Prophecy. And even then, it got to a point where it's like, I'm done.
That was the end of your story.
Yeah, it's the end of my story.
The Simon Says button mashing was crazy, man.
I laughed at that a lot.
Craziness.
I think I might have also been intoxicated. I have not played Heavy Rain. I have not played Beyond Two Souls.
Wow.
I've seen playthroughs of both of those, and I figure that's enough because there's not more than one way to go through those games, essentially.
I mean, they pretty much lead to the same conclusion. I mean, the journey's different.
The thing that I liked about Detroit was that after you're done with the level, it shows you all the branching storylines and what you went through and how many percentage of people actually did the same things and came to the same
so
endings.
they borrowed
that you did.
Telltale's thing where they show you what choices you made and
yeah, except it doesn't just break down 4 or 5
down
choices.
other
It
people.
goes through the entire it's a graph that shows you your path.
Oh wow.
The only other game that I
More
played that was
detail.
anything like that was Stories Path of Destinies, I think is the name of that game. It's a little indie game that
That's on my backlog.
Really?
That's a Devolver game, right?
I think they published it. Yeah, they didn't make it, but I think they made.
It's like a Stranger Things kind of thing where you have like these mini episodes and there's separate stories.
Essentially,
They're like videotapes that you watch or something.
no.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different
You're
game.
thinking of a different game, and I just actually put that on my my wish list yesterday.
Oh.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember the name of it. But Stories Path of Destinies is it looks... Yeah, just look it up. It's a third-person action-adventure game, but you keep going back in time and making different decisions and unlocking new decisions that you can make. And apparently when I played through it perfectly the way it's supposed to go through to the
Oh,
end.
jeez, that's totally different than what I had in mind.
Yeah, it's not Devolver Digital at all. It's, I don't know.
I was thinking of Stories Untold.
Okay.
That was another game on my backlist. It's like a little indie game with Stranger Things kind of stuff. It looks
I
cool.
get that vibe.
Yeah. Anyhow,
The only other game that I wanted to talk about that I could find right off the bat it's an oldie, but I think a goodie, Max Payne 3.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, I played
The one that
orig-
Rockstar
Yeah.
did, right? Yeah.
Well, I think Rockstar did all the Max Payne games, didn't they?
did they?
No, they did the second one, I think. And that was after... I can't remember their name. The guys who made Alan Wake. Remedy.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, they made the first one, and I think that Rockstar made the second one.
Okay.
And
I
then
did-
they kind of bought the license, and now they own it, basically. So they've made Max Payne 2 and 3.
Okay. I did play 1 and 2, and I really enjoyed those games at the time. I haven't played Max Payne 3, and I've had it. I apparently purchased it November 30th, 2013 on Steam. So it was probably
Wow.
it was probably a Black Friday sale
Oh, most likely.
from 5
Or
years
summer
ago.
sale. Steam summer sale.
Summer does not happen in November.
Not
It
usually.
does not, no.
I mean, at least not here.
What
Maybe in
time is
other
it?
parts of the world.
Okay, just making sure I'm okay.
Yeah, I wanted to play that game for a while and just haven't gotten
It's-
around to it.
That's something that would be a game I wanted to play, but I don't actually own. But yeah, because I love Rockstar and it always caught my attention. But yeah, I never got around to it. I never played the previous Max Payne's. I think it's just because the
It'd be
way
hard to-
Rockstar was marketing it, I guess.
Oh.
It caught my
They're
attention
still
more.
fun games. I replayed. I didn't replay them. Sorry, I played them back in 2012. I think Max Payne 1 and 2. 1 is still kind of dated, but 2 is still really good for its time. Like you can jump in that game and have a blast playing it. Really good action in that game.
In that same vein, Enter the Matrix. I know
Oh,
we
yeah.
all kind of talked about that, but not on the podcast, but just at work. I really enjoyed that game. You were confusing it with the Matrix Online,
I was.
I think.
Yeah.
Enter the Matrix is really fun, and that's kind of it because it made me think. It made me feel like I was playing a Max Payne game.
Oh, okay.
It felt like a Max Payne game, just with a little bit of martial arts combat mixed in.
Nice.
And it didn't have any really crappy dream sequences. And I remember hating those dream sequences in the original
Those were
Max
pretty
Payne
bad.
games.
Yeah. Those weren't really thought out too well. But I have some more. If
Yeah, go for
you
it.
guys. Okay. I know I have a lot of first-person shooters to get through.
Oh, I probably do too.
Doom, the remake. Well, not remake, but kind of like a
Doom 2016.
reboot.
2016?
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, Doom 2016.
I know I need to play that. It looks really fun.
It is. It's a
Yeah.
blast.
I,
Got it.
I'd probably
Yeah.
add that to my list, too.
And I know I still need to play Wolfenstein 2. I bought it Black Friday when I got my PS4 Pro, but I haven't gotten around to it for some reason.
For some reason, I thought you did play that.
I played like an hour of it,
Hmm.
but at the time, I was just kind of into other things.
I think you were still into Skywards. Or it's
Zelda.
Skyward Sword.
Yeah, there's Zelda. I was working my way
Breath of the
through
Wild.
Breath of the
It's
Wild.
Zelda. They're all the same to me.
I was actually making my way through the Danganronpa series.
That
At
just
that
sounds
time.
dirty.
Yeah,
Say that
Mariah
again?
really got tired of hearing all the, screams and whatnot. But
Whoa.
it's a pretty dark series. Fantastic series ending, though, in my opinion. Other than that, though, first-person shooters. I know eventually I want to play all the Battlefield games that have been released so far. My last one was
Interesting.
Bad Company 2, which I hold as the best FPS of all time.
Really?
I do. Battlefield Bad Company 2 is freaking awesome. It had the best multiplayer. It had the best gunplay. It just felt so good to play. The sound effects, just the booming of the grenades and explosions,
And the Half-Life 2 pulse rifle.
and the Half-Life 2 pulse rifle. Yes.
It's going back to the sounds.
Yes. Other than that, I know I need to play some more open world games, which I never get tired of. There's the Lara Croft, the second one. I don't know what it's called. But
That was
there's
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, I need to play that.
Oh, when you say Lara Croft, I thought you were talking about the 2D top-down.
Oh, no.
Like the Temple of Osiris.
Tomb Raider
Temple of
is a
Osiris?
reboot.
Tomb of
Those-
Osiris?
Those, I think, weren't too good, were they?
I don't think so. I've never played them.
Anyway,
But the two soon-to-be 3 new Tomb Raider games.
Well,
I
I was
played
gonna say,
the-
that was going to be one of my suggestions
oh, really?
for, you play.
I played the first one.
Or you.
I
Because
played
I was
the
going to
first
say,
one,
if you played the Horizon Zero Dawn,
Yeah.
reminds me a lot of that.
Well, I was thinking Uncharted.
Just with, like, the bow and arrow.
I was thinking Uncharted as well. When I played it, that was what I thought
female
the whole
Tomb
time.
Raider, you know?
That sounds dirty.
I know I still need to play Batman Arkham Knight. I
that's a
love
good
the Arkham series, but I've never gotten around to playing Arkham Knight because they had so many issues at launch on PC and they actually pulled the game from Steam because of how bad it was.
They put it back up, I think.
They did, and I bought it a couple of years ago, but I haven't gotten around to it. Gosh, what else is on my Steam thing? The Hitman series.
Oh, I want to play the new one. The one that was released episodically.
The episodic one. Yeah. I need to play that too.
They're releasing a definitive edition of that sometime in the near future. I think it's this month.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I think it's this month. I think it's actually on the 22nd. I could be wrong. But, yeah, they're releasing a definitive edition with the prologue and all of the downloadable content and everything, as well as all 5 episodes.
Yeah, I've got all the games on Steam that Hitman related, but except for the new one.
Gotcha.
And that's what actually makes me want to play it, because that looks really cool.
I just really like the idea of not just the base game, but that you can go in and play it differently with having different people that you're after and different ways of playing. Yeah. It's like a roguelite. Once again, it's the style of game that I'm into. You can go in, play it different ways, and keep having different things to like different objectives, different ways to kill the contract.
Right. That also reminds me, I also need to play Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
I gave up on that series.
Yeah, I mean, just from what I heard, it's not really great as much as Human Revolution was at the time. But I still want to experience it because I love the cyberpunk theme of it. That's one of my favorite genres. Anyhow, that's all I can think of for the time being. You guys got any more you'd like to share? Backlog-related stuff?
I did have 2 more.
Go for it.
I mean, if we're going for games that we've always wanted to play, but we don't own, I could have tons. But the 2 that I own, they still need to play. Sleeping Dogs.
Oh, that was
I got the definitive edition.
That game is so good.
That's a good game.
That's what I've always heard. And it was like a free Xbox Live game. I have that, and I honestly don't know a lot about it, other than when I saw the trailer when it came out years ago. But I've always wanted to play it, so I like open world games. And it's kind of GTA-ish, right?
A little bit.
Sort of.
Like I said, I really
it's more
don't know
focused
a lot
on
about
melee combat.
It really is, yeah.
Which is what makes it fun.
Yeah.
See, I would like that. That, and then one that you guys probably don't care a lick about, Forza Horizon 2.
You're right, I don't care.
I don't give a shit at all.
I honestly don't really play any racing games, but the Forza Horizon series, or at least, 1 and 2, and then hopefully 3, they're awesome. They're like the only racing games I like and play. And they're open world, so it's probably something to do with it. But the racing mechanics are really good. They're more arcadey. They're not like the sim, like the regular Forza series, which I can't stand the main Forza series.
Yeah.
But Forza Horizon, it's a perfect balance of, arcadey and all that. I've had that for like 2 years now. And I haven't played it. Plus, it's set in Australia, which is been my dream my whole life to visit. So it'd be kind of like going there without actually spending money.
Without going there.
Yeah. So
I did actually find a few more that I haven't played. XCOM 2.
Oh, that's on mine too. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I could just keep naming games and you'd be like, I have it too.
I love XCOM. That game was great.
Enemy Unknown was fantastic. I didn't play Enemy Within, and I didn't care to.
Yeah, I got the expansion, but I played through the main game without knowing there was a whole other campaign you could start with Enemy Within.
Right.
So I played the base game, and I didn't even know that I could opt to play it with the expansion.
That's great.
And I was like, so I missed out on that. So I haven't played it since then. So that's a good one. I'm glad you brought that one up.
Shovel Knight, one of my favorite games from the last few years.
I've heard of that game.
Fantastic game.
It is.
They released DLC for you playing as a few of the bosses, and it changes up the entire game and the way you play it.
Oh, yeah.
And the levels and stuff. I haven't played any of those.
Me too!
Nice!
I gotta play those as well.
There was another one that I saw that I don't remember.
That's a good game.
Did you play... Oh, you did play the original Shovel Knight then?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
It was fantastic.
I highly recommend you at least try it, Robert.
Fun
I
game.
should try it.
Yeah, that was really good.
I think with me, for like the smaller indie games, it's harder for me to like want to play, because when I sit down and play a game, I want something that's big and meaty.
Immersive.
Like Assassin's Creed or Far Cry or whatever.
I gotcha, yeah.
And which is weird because you think when you have less time, you'd want to play games that are smaller and easier to beat.
Right.
But because I have so little time, I feel like I want to play a game that's going to give me more out of it in the long run, I guess.
That makes sense.
I don't know. It's kind of backwards, but
To each their own.
I would, like I said, with playing Firewatch, it's definitely opened me up to wanting to try more.
There's
games
so
like
many
that,
games like that where you just beat them in a day, and you get a full experience out of it. Still.
Yeah. Another one that I haven't played. I'm actually pretty sure you have played it, Kyle. The Sexy Brutale.
I have not played that.
You have not?
No.
Okay.
I do want to play it though.
Okay.
That looks fun.
Yeah.
This is great. I love this.
One of these.
Yeah, keep on going.
One of these days, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna play a game, and we're gonna either make Robert play it or we're gonna play and make him
We'll
watch.
torture Robert with it.
I don't think it'd be
And
torture.
then we'll enjoy it.
There are some games that I have on my Steam list that could be torture to play or to watch.
As long
I
as
have
you
several
don't
of those.
make me play a football game, I think we're good.
Right.
Football Manager.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a different kind of football. It's not American football.
Right.
Football.
Is that how they pronounce it?
Keep
in
it coming.
England?
What else you got?
I'm looking.
You got 600 games to look through, Kyle.
That's a lot
Gotta
of
give him
games
a moment.
in your backlog.
Magica 2.
Oh, yeah. I haven't played that. I don't think I have an interest in that.
Magica was fun. It was one of those games that was only fun to play with other people, and I didn't have anybody else to play with, so I didn't play much of it. It's a top-down RPG, but you have like 4 spells, I think, in the original game. You have the elements like fire, water, whatever, and you mix them together to make spells, and you can shoot them differently or apply them to you, and it's very open-ended in how you play it, and it's all about accidentally killing your friends over and over again while trying to beat the game, and it's really good.
Speaking of multiplayer, there is one series I want to try out, at least to experience it once. It's Splatoon for the Nintendo Wii U and Switch.
I have hardly any interest in Splatoon.
I mean, it looks unique enough to try out once. I don't think I'd love the game, but I do think it'd be fun to play for an afternoon or something. Just
could be.
to kind of try it out. I know that's on my bucket list as well.
I know there's another one on your list, Kyle. And it's kind of on my list too, even though I played it for 2 hours. Hollow Knight.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yep. That looks like one of those immersive experiences I think will be really fun
If you like
to delve into.
If you like games like that, I highly recommend Outland. It was on, I think, it might have been on the 360 on XBLA.
It's on everything.
But it was on PS3, and it's definitely on Steam.
I got that for free from Steam because they had a promotion.
Oh, nice.
Where you can download it for free because I think they took it off of Steam. So there's like one last thing that, try it out, download it.
I didn't know that.
There's been several games like that. Like I know the Transformers, Cybertron games were like that.
Well, that's probably because the publisher lost the licensing rights to it, yeah. There's a lot of episodic games that I haven't played that I want to. I'm trying to find some, but they're not Telltale. They're Telltale inspired, but they're not Telltale. They changed the formula a bit. There's just so many of them out there.
I was going to say, since you brought up Splatoon, one thing I will say is, I guess it's kind of like that, Sunset Overdrive.
I wanted to play that for a little bit.
I have that too. I haven't even booted it up, but
I don't have an Xbox One.
I forget who made it.
That's shoot, name escapes me. Insomniac, right?
Was it Insomniac?
I think so. Insomniac Games that made the Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah,
games?
I know who they are. I just don't remember.
I think that's who they are.
I wasn't sure if that was them because I thought they just were PS4 exclusive. But anyways, that game.
It was Insomniac.
That's another one that is on my list, and it's just in my hard drive along with all the other games.
There is one that I haven't played. That's. Have you heard of Black Mesa? It's like the fan-made Half-Life 1
remake
source. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried that?
No.
I haven't either. I've had it in my Steam library apparently for a little over a year now, and haven't played it. Banner Saga 2. Games that I haven't played that I want to.
I still need to play the new
Look at Banner, Michael.
Supergiant Games Pyre. I need to check that out.
I think I should as well, but haven't wanted to for some reason. I loved Transistor, and I kind of liked Bastion.
Yeah, me too. But I think Pyre looks pretty interesting enough to warrant a try.
One game that I know you and I have both played that I highly recommend Robert plays at some time. It was
the name sounds really
that was from
familiar.
Obsidian
Yeah,
did that one,
that
right?
was Obsidian, yep.
Yeah, it was
That was
like
their last game before they were let go by Sega, I think.
it's a think KOTOR, but with like a Tom Clancy twist to it, kind of. It's like an espionage-based
Western RPG.
Western RPG. Yeah, it's
Sounds interesting.
got dialogue trees and stuff too. But you could go in there and play. The recent Splinter Cell games have kind of done this to some degree, where you can go in and play stealthily, or you can play where you go in and kill everybody, or it's pretty open ended, but it's a blast. It's not a fantastic game, but it's one of those games that is just bad enough to be good. It's not so bad it's good. It's just bad enough to be good. It's
hilarious. Like there's so many bugs in the game. You don't get pissed off at them. You just laugh at it because it's so fun.
It doesn't take you out of the experience because
No.
the experience is kind of a janky,
Arcadey.
Yeah.
Like
That
just
sounds like
there
a
to
lot of
have
fun.
fun. Yeah.
It's a very fun game.
God, man, I love that boss fight when they have the turn up the radio song playing.
I forgot all about that.
I love that.
All about that. Oh
That
my
cocaine
goodness.
infused fight was great. Man. That's some
You
awesome
got
shit
there.
right there.
Oh man.
That was great. How about you, Robert?
Well, I can get one more, I guess. It's a game I won't have for a couple days, but I know I'm going to get it, and I'm not going to play it right away.
What's that?
Metal Gear Solid. Was it 5?
Phantom
The most,
Pain?
yeah, most recent
Really?
one.
You're gonna start from there?
Well, it's going to be. It's free on Xbox Live for the
Oh.
latter half of the month, and
You
it's
know-
one that, again, it's open world, so it caught my interest.
Yeah.
Like the other ones haven't. So I'm excited to pick it up and try it out.
I didn't play past the intro.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you right now. The story's just gonna be way over your head. You're
No,
not
I'm fine with that.
I would almost recommend.
There's
you
YouTube
playing-
videos for that.
I would almost recommend you trying out Ground Zeroes first. It's kind of like its own separate story.
Yeah,
It was the
It's
prequel.
The prequel for the main game.
yeah.
But
I think I actually watched a playthrough for that out of curiosity one time.
But I found that to be more of a cohesive game than Phantom Pain. I could go a whole podcast talking about that game, but I won't for the sake of time.
Thank you. So, Robert, I don't know if you've played these either. There's going to be a lot of games that I could suggest to Robert that I think Kyle's already played.
There'll be a lot of games.
Hotline Miami.
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
It's
That's a good
frustrating.
I know the
Good choice.
soundtrack is really good
Oh
because I
my
listened to it on
goodness.
Spotify.
One of the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a really good soundtrack. That with Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I
Yeah.
love those soundtracks.
Exactly. See, it's the 80s theme, man.
Uh-huh.
It catches my attention.
Yes, sir.
You would also like, I think, Life is Strange.
I do know about that one, yeah.
It's not necessarily 80s, but it's kind of got that storytelling I think you would love. Like
It's-
you did with Firewatch.
I was going to say, it's kind of like the walking simulator. You guys can't see me do air quotations, but like the walking simulators.
It's
Yes.
it's a Telltale inspired game.
Yeah. But it's a really good story. It just hooks you in. Like, I think I didn't play it till all 5 were out, but I played it nonstop.
I never
It was a
finished
really
it.
good game.
I think I played episodes 1, 2, and 3,
Mm.
but I never finished it.
I know that's on Xbox. It's Hotline Miami.
It should
On
be.
Xbox.
Maybe the second one. Hotline Miami, the original, was only on PC.
Oh, was it?
I think.
Oh, wow.
I could be mistaken, but I know Hotline Miami 2 was the big one.
Hmm.
And I haven't. I don't know. Oh, here's a game that I have not played that Robert's probably heard of and Kyle has probably no experience with. Loco Cycle.
No idea. Yeah.
It was one of the original Xbox One games. It was an Xbox One exclusive until
Really?
it came over to Windows PC as well.
Loco Cycle. I don't
Just do
believe
yourself
I've heard
a favor
of
and look it up. It's a ridiculous game. I couldn't. You're riding a motorcycle, but I think I can't even explain it. Just look it up if you're curious.
I remember there was this really fun PS3 game that I played, and it was like all about you like throwing this guy into like objects and stuff and trying to rack up points and like I forget what it was called, but
Kind of sounds like Katamari. The way
in
you
a way,
explained
I
it, it kinda
guess,
sounded
but
like that.
yeah, I forget. I think you like launched him out of a slingshot or something, and then so you're trying to hit things, and then you're rolling into stuff, and before you stop, trying to get as much damage as you could. It was on the PS3. Can't remember what it was, but that was fun. Someone
Nice.
out there knows. You know what I'm talking about, people.
Yeah, just to kind of bring it around, I think for Robert, I think pretty much when you were discussing Firewatch, I think there's so many games in that genre you would love.
I
But
know.
you can even expand beyond that and get into games like, the Telltale games, for example, like the Borderlands. I don't know if you played Borderlands 1 or 2, but those are really fun games to play.
That could be another game that's in my backlog.
Yeah.
I never finished the second one.
Oh man, the second one was really good.
I never played the pre-sequel either, and I still have not finished Tales from the Borderlands.
That's the best Telltale game, is Tales from the Borderlands, in my opinion.
That was my favorite one. I still never finished. I've never finished any of them.
Like, you have the Borderlands quirky humor
Mm-hmm.
that's unique to the series.
Yeah,
And it's just turned up to 11 in the Telltale game.
it's
Like, they know how to write these characters in the same style.
yes, it's the perfect combination of the Borderlands humor and the Telltale writing. It's really good.
And even for you, Robert, I would recommend the Game of Thrones one.
I played a couple minutes of it. I actually had it on my iPad. I played on that. But other than that, the only Telltale game I played was The Walking Dead, the first episode or whatever.
Mhm.
And it, I don't know, it never caught me enough to keep playing or even to keep playing that genre of game.
Mm.
But since then, like, the Jurassic Park one looked cool. The Batman one I heard is pretty good.
I was going to
That's one I
mention.
still need to play too, the Batman one.
I was going to mention one other game that was in my backlog, and it is a Telltale game, Back to the Future.
Oh, God,
forgot
yeah.
that
I
they
still
did
need to play that too.
Yeah,
They've done so much.
yeah,
They have.
they've done a lot. They did a poker game.
Yeah, Poker Night.
Yeah,
1 and
poker
2.
night at the inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked kind of fun too.
I mean, if you're into poker, I'm not. I'm into slot machines if I'm going to gamble, but I'm not into card games so much.
I used to watch poker late night when I was younger. When I was bored.
So what do you guys say at some point we get together and play some of these games and
Yeah.
share them with some of the people that are watching or listening to us right now?
I think that sounds awesome.
I
I'm
think
all
we
for
should.
it.
It'd be a
all
lot
in.
of fun.
I think we should do it at some point. We'll start recording and putting them up on our YouTube channel. So if you're listening on any of the podcast audio-only apps, you won't get that there. But stay tuned to our YouTube channel, link on pushingbuttonspodcast.com. For all of our links, they're all on pushingbuttonspodcast.com. If you are wanting to get in contact with us for whatever reason, you can leave a comment on any of the things on the website, pushingbuttonspodcast.com, or just get a hold of me, Kevin, at pushingbuttonspodcast.com, or send in a tweet at insert Twitter
At
handle.
pushing buttons. I think it's just at pushing buttons.
You got that?
Or at pushing buttons P.
That's the one I was trying to sign up for.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's at pushing
Perfect.
buttons P.
At Pushing Buttons P.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you too for joining me.
Thank
This
you.
was a
Happy to be here.
fun discussion today.
That was a fun one. Yeah.
lively.
Yeah. Tune in next week, and we'll talk about video games again.
Adios.
Goodbye.
Have a good night.